All right. So now let's get into some real knowledge about Fox News. If you really want to know what station not to watch, Fox News is one of them. Earlier, our brother Keely touched on Rupert Murdoch. Rupert Murdoch owns multiple businesses, specifically in the field of journalism. He is known to be a very, very, very conservative individual. So we want to kind of touch on that also. So, throughout history of mass media, there have been various studies pointing the finger at certain media stations for being one-sided, such as CNN being, kind of liberal, CBS to NBC. However, in doing my research, propaganda is seen more strongly within the Fox News station. I mean, you have individuals, you have ex-employees, being documented on tape. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with the Al Fox documentary. Al Fox, yeah. Al Fox. Yeah, so, after this lecture, please go ahead and buy that and see what I'm talking about. And then from that documentary, you'll see Fox News executives telling you that they was told what to report and what not to report. I actually have the list of the memorandums from one of the Fox News executives, Mr. Moody. And he's telling them let's not focus on this, let's focus on that. So definitely continue to do the research. So Fox News, with the use of specific propaganda techniques to deliberately mislead and indirectly persuade the public opinion. So in my opinion, personally, this is a crime against humanity because it creates a population of non-thinkers, conformists, and psychological slaves. Therefore, we become puppets of the news station and to the elites who own them. So, thank you. The Fox News station utilized certain propaganda techniques to influence the public. Propaganda techniques utilized by many people in high positions to manipulate the public opinion and belief is massive. Just to kind of brief review: assertion, bandwagon, car stacking, glaring generalities, name calling, stereotype, etc. The owner of Fox News, Rupert Murdoch, is known for supporting the right-wing Republican Party. An example is the Ronald Reagan administration. According to a man by the name of Frank O'Donnell, a former Fox News producer out of Washington, D.C., his admiration for him was so strong that he ordered to cut the regular news broadcast to run an uncut version of the Ronald Reagan tribute at the Republican convention. Now, I mean, seriously, is that news? Or is that just somebody who just want to promote their own belief and who they think should be president? This is the Fox News station utilized what we went over, what is called the card stacking technique to present and promote a Republican official running for presidency instead of reporting on general information in the following principles and following the principles of journalism. Also during that time, during the early 1980s, Murdoch preferred a certain cultural theme to the news, which he felt was important, that being race and HIV/AIDS. Next, please. In my opinion, the most powerful evidence against Rupert Murdoch and Fox News is on the MediaMatters.org website, where it gives the internal memos written by John Moody, an executive of Fox News Corporation, where Moody sets the tone for the day, or the focus of the news broadcast by stating, "Let's spend a good deal of time on the battle over judicial nominations, which the president would address this morning." And please feel free to jot that website down and check that out. Please continue. Furthermore, the Media Matters website and documentary Al Fox revealed another topic discussed by John Moody was based on the 9/11 Commission. The commission was established to investigate the horrific incident and the government involvement with September 11th. However, when the 9/11 Commission was questioning former Bush administrators in regards to the event that took place on September 11, 2001, this is what Mr. Moody had to say. "Do not turn this into Watergate," which, from the individual that's familiar with Nixon. "Remember the fleeting sense of national unity that emerged from this tragedy. Let's not desecrate that." This statement immediately eliminates the most important goal of journalism, which is to report truthful and factual news. At the time, the determination of whether or not the Bush administration knew about the attack prior to it happening is of most importance in regards to the public interest. Is it not? In times of political campaigning, debates, and elections, the media has a very influential role in delivering information to the public on both candidates. However, in reality, most people never see a political candidate in person. And so what we know, see, and hear about politicians comes from the television. So ladies and gentlemen, please do your own research. Please. I can't stress that even more. Therefore, it is imperative that media companies follow the principle and purpose of good, solid journalism. However, this isn't the case for Fox News station. Once again, John Moody is persuading the public by directing the Fox News reporters to edit a portion of John Kerry's speech on the economy and Iraq war at Georgetown. Moody continues by stating, and if you see other news at the time, it's more compelling. It is not required to take it from start to finish. Now here you have a man that's running for president that's giving a very important speech that could really persuade voters. And Mr. Moody is saying, if there's, don't worry about it. This, report other news. It's whatever at this time. And there's no need to take it from start to finish. That's like, let's like this man here, video that's taping me right now. Let's say, okay, let's only give this man 5 minutes, and then let's spend more time on Achilles. That's a small example of being biased right there. Next, please. According to Peter Hart, a media analyst for FAIR, which is fairness and accuracy in reading, on the Outfox documentary makes the claim that the Bill O'Reilly factor is one of the main issues with the Fox News station. Anybody familiar with Bill O'Reilly? Yeah. Okay. Well, we finna get a little bit into him too. He continues to say that stories are purposely selected. I repeat, stories are purposely selected to be offensive to liberals and Democrats with a conservative undertone. A good example is Jeremy Gleek, who is the son of a worker who died during September 11th. Jeremy explains that he was a part of an advisory board that signed a statement stating he was against the Iraq war. He appeared on the Bill O'Reilly Factor show, making the point that President Bush inherited a legacy from his father, George Bush Sr., that is responsible for training militarily and economically the individuals in the attack on the World Trade Center that murdered his father. That is documented too. You have George Bush being with, the Bin Laden family, which are really trillionaires in oil. So after this, Bill O'Reilly attempts to make the young man Jeremy Gleek into an extreme conspiracy theorist, as though he made a comment about the U.S. being behind the September 11th attack, which was far from Mr. Glick's point. O'Reilly is seen in later broadcasting completely twisting and altering Mr. Glick's comments. I'm going to show you guys the actual video. You can highlight it. Yeah, there you go.
The O'Reilly Factor is probably the perfect example of everything that's wrong with Fox News Channel. You have stories that are selected primarily to upset liberals and Democrats and prop up the Republican Party. You have a hostility towards guests that disagree with the host. And you have a host who, in service of his conservative politics, will distort facts, will misrepresent things, and will, in some cases, just fabricate.
In the personal story segment tonight, we were surprised to find out that an American who lost his father in a World Trade Center attack had signed an anti-war advertisement that accused the USA itself of terrorism.
Jeremy Glick is the son of a Port Authority worker who died in 9/11, and he had signed an anti-war petition, and O'Reilly had to have him on.
And they were so persistent about getting me on the O'Reilly show because they found out that I was on the advisory board and signed a statement that was against the war, and then I was directly impacted by 9/11. The success that I had on the O'Reilly show had to do with just practice and preparation. So I taped the shows And what I did is I took a stopwatch that I used to use for